Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
You all right, Arthur?
I am. I'm on the treadmill, so I'm doing okay.
You're on right now?
I normally wait till... Yeah, I'm on it right now. I've been on 30 minutes, a little over 2.5 miles, and I'm cooling down a bit, and then I'm going to go move my laundry over and then do some weight training. Because, look, I'm 55 years old. My credit sucks. My future's not too bright, but at least I'm good looking and in good shape.
There you go.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's start on the Chuck and Bo
There we
Show."
go.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I think every memory I have of the first Bobby Petrino era flashed through my mind as I stood in that press conference yesterday. And I'm going to guess for every Razorback fan that either watched it live or watched it later or listened to it or however you consumed it, I'm going to guess you had the same feeling because it was like the more things change, the more they stay the same. Or, whatever phrase you want to pick out of the air. I felt it yesterday.
Petrino won the press conference,
Oh, he did.
and that was needed. And he looked like a guy in charge saying things like a guy in charge says them. And there's no wavering in confidence. And he surgically answers questions with a great degree of confidence and in a way that people can understand it. And I felt like he inspired some confidence yesterday. Now, this is a press conference, and what do they do in press conferences? They talk. And he knows that, and he went on to speak about that at points throughout the time with the media, but they had to go get it done. But he set this up as a 9-week audition for everybody involved.
He sounded just like he did 15 years ago.
100%.
It looked just like he did 15 years ago up there. He was the head football coach.
He was the calmest guy in the room. I'll submit to you that the media and Hunter Yurchek had some nerves.
Who was more nervous? up there,
Petrino had
Petrino or
zero.
Hunter?
He had zero.
Yeah.
By the way, it was a little awkward, and I get why they had a dual press conference, but it's a little awkward when the guy who has been a coach here, went 21-5 over a 2-year period, and is the last coach to have a winning record at Arkansas, is sitting next to the AD, and the AD's being asked about candidates beyond him in the search and what that's going to look like and what the qualifications are going to be, as the guy who wants the job is sitting right next to him.
Yeah, it was a little different.
And I just thought to myself, boy, how many times has Petrino, been in this situation where he's not the guy, the focus of attention, and he's sitting up front and somebody's talking about somebody else right next to him? And I would submit not very often, if ever. Because when he's on stage, when he's sitting up in front of the room or standing up in front of the room, he's the guy.
I hadn't thought about that. But
That's
yeah, you're right. That'll probably be the only time that it happens here.
Yeah, it was a little weird. I thought they handled it well. You want to show that you're a united front, and there's some things to deal with. We've got a lot of, obviously, audio clips that we'll play throughout the show here in a minute. We'll start with that because there's a lot to react to.
Yeah,
a lot of things were said. But if you want to start, with the first story of Pittman being fired, they negotiated his buyout down based on what some folks had called even the show about yesterday, which was you could have saved money if you would have let him keep coaching, and his record since signing the new deal went below 500. Well, they used that as part of the negotiation. And then they also negotiated that he didn't have to go out and look for work to mitigate the contract, which a lot of these coaches have a buyout, but you're required to go look for another job, and whatever that job pays you cuts into the buyout. Pittman's no longer obligated to do that, but they got his buyout down to more like $7 million. But they still also have, a $2.7 million buyout for the coaches. Now, they do have to go find work. I don't know if it'll really matter because in Travis Williams' case, it may matter. I'm not sure how many years they had on their deal after this year, but they're not going to find work this year. They're going to have to pay them the rest of their contract this year. But all of that stuff, Chuck, after hearing Hunter talk yesterday, I was encouraged by the admission that they have to get these other things fixed financially, the board on the same page. And we'll get into it. We'll hear from Hunter on all this. But he said some things yesterday. Basically, the summary of it is they weren't set up for Sam Pittman as the head coach to go compete with all the resources he needs. They will be set up when the next permanent head coach is hired.
See, I think they're in a unique spot right now, and I think they're in a spot that they've not been in before. The expectations for this season, now some will have, their own expectations with 7 games left, but in terms of this season, I'm certainly not saying it's a wash because there's a lot left to do. There's a lot of season left, but whatever happens the rest of the way will be forgiven. In the grand scheme of things. But they have a period of time now to get all their ducks in a row, so to speak. If it's going to be Coach Petrino, for example, and make no mistake, he's got the inside track. But whoever it's going to be, whoever the people with the money are, they're going to have time to get a line behind this person, and they're going to have time to get their plan together and get their ducks in a row where they can literally and actually hit the ground running whenever that time comes. So I'm encouraged by that. Unfortunately, and this is the bad part about changing coaches, and when people talk about firing people, this is the one thing that you have to be prepared to deal with on the other side, is that it's not going to happen right away. Now, I do think we'll see an enthusiastic Razorback football team play at Tennessee a week from Saturday. I do believe that. There may be marginal improvement in terms of wins and losses as we move forward this year. But the program, not just the team, the program is what needs the foundation. And it's hard to it's hard to build a foundation with an interim head coach. It's just very hard to do that. But if Petrino ends up being the guy, if there's some success this year, you've got a bit of a head start. But that to me is the opportunity that they have right now, not just to hire a new head coach, but to really form some roots in terms of what this football program is going to be. Because in this new era, I hate to use the term rudderless, but from an overall perspective, there are times when it has appeared that way. And they've got an opportunity now to change that. And hopefully, the finances will be in place because that's a big part of it.
As much as you and I personally like Pittman, and a lot of people like him, there comes a time in every coach's tenure, I don't care how long you've been there, where there is going to be two sides of the aisle on his popularity. And we had reached that point with Pittman. And when that happens, it's hard to get things done. Now you have a chance to rally around one guy, one cause, and you don't necessarily have two sides of the aisle. There are still some people, I'm sure, that aren't happy with Petrino coming back and everything that happened. And for them, not enough time has passed, and it'll never be enough time. But I think those amount of people pale in comparison to where we were with the divisiveness on how people felt about whether Pittman should be the coach at this point. And when you're in that spot, as you know, it's just really hard to get people to give and get on the same page and be like, just come along, trust us, let's just go with this. That just wasn't happening.
Well, the reason, really the only reason that people who are against Petrino coming back, the only reason they're against it is because of what happened off the field. Now, I'm not minimizing what happened off the field, but my point in all this is that every other coach who's been dismissed has been dismissed over football stuff, not winning enough games. Petrino's the only coach that Arkansas has had since they joined the SEC where there was no debate about whether or not he was a good coach. You know, there was a debate at the end about whether or not he should be our coach, but there was no debate about whether or not the guy was a damn good coach. There's always been that debate about every other coach at the end. So that's why I say there are some unique opportunities here that don't present themselves every day. I hope they take advantage of them.
Well, it sounds like they're trying to do things that haven't been done here before.
They are.
We'll
they
see.
are.
We'll see if this happens.
And as we always say, don't forget, you're asking this guy to do something nobody's ever done before. Just, as you make demands, understand nobody's been able to pull this off.
But Petrino seems to have enough support already in the state.
He got closer than anyone. He got closer
to
than
be
anyone.
able to help pull this off. All right, let's take an early call here. Chad is in Miami, where we'd all love to be. Are you with Coach O on Muscle Beach, South Beach, Chad?
No, I'm a Razorback ride or die.
There we go.
Well, Coach O would talk hogs with you if you run into him.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment. I'm happy with the change. I'm ecstatic that Bobby's coming back. It's always good to have a fresh start. But I will say, as much as I was ready for that change and ready for Sam to go, the only thing that bugs me is that he was set up to fail. Knowing now from Yurchek that he didn't have the finances to do it, it's almost like he was the scapegoat so other people above him didn't get fired. And, as much as I didn't want Sam in the later years to be coach and ready for that change, I don't like that cheap way of getting rid of him.
Well,
especially when he didn't have the tools.
Let's talk about it real quick. You're not wrong. The other part of it, though, is
I hear you.
So he came into the position, Pittman did, because they had gotten that low in the hiring process. They couldn't get anybody else, okay? And he knew that coming in. When he took the job, he basically said, I don't even care what you're paying me. And then he ended up winning 9 games, and then he ended up hiring Jimmy Sexton, and then he ended up, getting paid at a $5 million a year, basically the equivalent of $6 million a year the last few years. In that process, he also had some seasons that didn't go very well. And so then people start not believing in him as a coach, and then that makes it really difficult to go out and get all those things because you didn't need all those things when he first became the coach. Things changed with the portal and NIL. So it's not as if they hired Pittman, said, we're not going to give you any resources. We're not going to try to keep up with the rest of the SEC. And, you're just going to have to try to figure out how to make it. But that is what ended up happening. And it's because they didn't win enough games to get enough people excited to really give and jump in the boat. That's my view and my opinion on it. I don't think they just had Pittman out here trying not to support him. Some of that you create yourself on, do you win enough games?
Yeah.
But there's no question he was trying to coach with a hand tied behind his back the last 2 years, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And that's what made the situation untenable. Like you couldn't. That's why this had to happen. It wasn't.
The end is inevitable on that.
Yeah, because there's no path forward. And when you get to that point, whether it's your fault or not, that position will change, whether you're a CEO or you're a head football coach.
Yep. Sucks you're on the end of that stick, but somebody's got to deal with it.
Yeah, and that's why they get paid what they get, and that's why they get the buyouts they have.
Bold prediction: we beat Tennessee. It's going to be an ugly game, but we beat them, and that solidifies Bobby's comeback right there.
Well, what's interesting about that, thanks for the call. What's interesting about that, Chuck, is effort. And we'll get into this when we come back. But do we believe that this team has enough to show effort and it'll matter at a level high enough to be able to be in the game in the fourth quarter and win? Because we thought that when they played Ole Miss. We thought it a little bit less when they played Memphis, and then it completely fell apart against Notre Dame.
Right.
So when this team, like how much talent do they have or not have? And what will effort get them to? 6:16, we got to hit a break. We're just getting rolling. Bart, how are you, man? You good?
I'm doing okay.
Well, where are we on the Bart level today? Like 1 to 10. Were you 6, 7? I can't tell. We're in that early 20-minute window.
Yeah,
what kind of Bart are we going to have?
Yeah, what's the deal, Bart?
We're at a 5 right now, but we're trying to.
Did you not sleep well?
Yeah, I didn't sleep very well.
Okay.
Yeah. I said good morning to Bart. He may have said it back, but I didn't hear him.
I did. I want you to know it matters to me that you know I did say good morning back.
It wasn't audible.
It was in a low level.
You don't have to. I mean, I know you. It's fine. But I figured.
I did.
It's more important for me to bring energy to you.
I understand that.
And so during the break, we're going to get after it a little bit here. We're going to do, we're going to do some
calisthenics.
Well,
mental calisthenics.
We're going to do a chant or something. Edward, how are you, buddy?
I'm great.
Yeah, did you sleep well? Did you go to Blink 182? Anything last night?
No Blink 182 concerts. The baby woke up once last night, which is not been usual. He's been sleeping through the night, so I don't know what's up with that.
But
we'll have to address that this afternoon. Yeah,
get family meeting.
But good. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, it's Tuesday. Good. We're
hungry.
all here. Good morning.
Hungry,
well, we got a breakfast.
We'll see.
And when Bart gets up to like a 6 or 7 energy level, we'll go get some.
All right.
Good morning, Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, what's your point?
You want my point?
Yes, I asked for it. Make it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want real action, and the wait is over. Live racing is back. Every weekend brings big moments, big crowds, and your chance to feel the thrill of a big win. The holiday racing season begins Friday, December 12th, and runs through January 4th. Then, the excitement returns with the classic racing season, January 30th through May 2nd. It's racing, it's winning, it's everything you've been waiting for. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like walk-ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home. The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
one thing, but listen, what a great show the best sports show in the state is, no doubt, the Chuck and Bo Show. No doubt about it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think all the players need to understand, like the coaches, they've got 9 weeks to really brand themselves and show their quality of play on the field. Some guys will be going into the NFL, and these 9 weeks will determine how they do that, where they go in, how they're slotted. Some guys will transfer in the portal, and these 9 weeks will see how they get paid going into the portal. And then some guys will stay here, and their futures will get better and better because of how they handled these 9 weeks.
Getting guys to play.
That's the most important thing to me, is when you look in terms of the games moving forward, before we even get to talking about, beating Tennessee or, how are you going to do in those 3 straight home games, you got to get some buy-in from these guys. We obviously were not privy to the team meeting yesterday, but of all the things that have happened since the end of that game Saturday, I'm not sure that's not the most important thing that's gone down, so to speak, because I'm sure it was raw. I'm sure a lot of things were said, and you hope at the conclusion of something like that, whatever you've had to say, you've said, and everybody's on the same page when those doors open up. That's what I hope happened yesterday. If that did happen, then you've got a chance to get the things that we're talking about, the things that are obvious, like effort. We see that. That's the finished product on Saturday, but it's the finished product from everybody being together at the start of the week. And ultimately a coach, as fans, we love it when a coach yells at a player, yells at a ref, because we can't. We can yell from our living room, but they can't hear us. They can hear the coach, and Petrino's pretty good at that. And lots of coaches are good at that, and we like seeing it. But all that matters is, can this coach get the best out of that player? Because that's the job. And part of that is what he's talking about there. Each one of these individuals has got to decide what they are playing for over the next 9 weeks. Some of them are trying to get to the pros. Some of them, it may be as simple as, I'm trying to increase my value for the next school that I go to. As soon as that portal opens the next time, after the season's over, I'm in it. But I got to spend these next 9 weeks showing who I am. Now, lots of things will happen during those 9 weeks, and you may end up being a Razorback when it's all said and done. But my point is all of them have to find what fuels them over the next 9 weeks. And it's this staff's job to help them find that and to get it out of them. If they don't, then everybody's going to be out of here at the end of the year. And if they do, then they've all got a chance to stay.
You got to have a leader in this position that understands how to lead. And the answers that Petrino gave yesterday indicated he knows exactly how to do that.
Well, we got a number of things to talk about, but, number one thing is that you have to get used to change. Your whole life there's going to be change. So how we handle that, our attitude on how we handle that, our positiveness on how we handle that will determine how quickly we improve. We're going to improve. That'll determine how quickly we improve.
Mike is in Fort Worth. Mike, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. You guys may have to click that. I think the flip over. There we go. Hey, Mike. You're on now. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me good?
Yep.
Okay. I just want to, you guys have been talking about this for the past 5 or 10 minutes about effort and people letting go of the rope. I just wanted to get your thoughts on one. It seems to be, it has happened on both sides of the ball, but it predominantly seems like the defense has let go of the rope maybe more than the offense. Maybe they saw the concepts and grasped them better than the defense did, and it was easier to hang on to the rope. But then how do you go about a player that's currently making X number of dollars that still just stands around and can't see that, if I don't play, I'm not even going to get another NIL deal with another team, or you can forget pro. I just don't see how you motivate the one that can't be motivated. Obviously you can't, but wanted your thoughts on that.
All right. Thank you for the call. Edward, you need to put him on hold. I think what you just heard from Petrino is exactly how you go about doing that. And that's what I meant by having experience in this position and knowing how to do it and what to do. There's no guarantee, Chuck. You can't make people do what they don't want to do, but you can create an environment where you're highly motivated to do it. How you go about connecting with the players on that is part of the job of the coach.
It's the essence of coaching right there.
And I think he knows how to do that.
Can you reach him? Are you going to reach all 85, all 105, however many are out there? Why, no, you're not. Just like, if you're a teacher, are you going to reach every kid in the classroom? No. Hopefully you reach enough of them. And in the case of coaching a ball team, you hope you can reach enough of them to have a good enough team to win some games. But the idea you're going to inspire everyone, I don't know about that. But, again, the reaction yesterday, we saw some of the reaction on social media from the players. All of it's predictable. None of it is unique. There's always this type of reaction when things like this occur. If they didn't have a relationship with that previous coach, there'd be something wrong. So you have to expect that. How do you turn that? You don't take away the relationship, but how do you build one of your own to where you can get the most out of that kid? Hey, it's a tough chore, man, and they don't have much time to do it.
Melvin and Sheridan.
That's my fault.
Has left us.
Yeah.
Steven in Nashville, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, thank you for calling. You know me, I do not want Petrino. I want to start fresh for a new coach who's proven himself in a small division. But I do have a question for Chuck. He's always telling us to look what people think outside of Arkansas. Well, last night on the Paul Feinbaum show, he made a comment about where he was floored and shocked that Petrino had to be embarrassed when he come back to Arkansas. But then he said, I was actually floored and shocked that Arkansas allowed him to come back with a coach that embarrassed the university the most it's ever been embarrassed, the biggest thing that's ever happened in that university. And he was floored and shocked that they allowed him to come back to someone that caused so much embarrassment to the university.
Well,
I just want to know.
Well, Paul Feinbaum.
I don't have anything to do with that.
Hold on. Paul Feinbaum. Do you know what Paul Feinbaum, what he's about? He's about the Jerry Springer of college football. I mean, let's just be. Wait. I
don't care what other people think. Well, you may have me confused with somebody else on that. I haven't ever really talked about that. But I do hear what you're saying, and I'm not naive. I know a lot of people believe that way.
What Chuck has said in the past is that's what Arkansas fans care about. We all want to be appreciated by the rest of the country. We all want to not be embarrassed. But when it comes to what other people say opinion-wise, it's always important for me to know exactly who that person is and how they come at things. And when they've had a career of doing it, you have a pretty good track record. I mean, if it were up to Paul Feinbaum, and by the way, I respect Paul. He's a friend. He'll be on our show from time to time. But if you listen to Paul Feinbaum, Lane Kiffin wouldn't ever coach in college football again. I mean, he called him the Miley Cyrus of college football.
I have to say this, too. I just have to say this. If we were all judged in our worst moment, I mean, come on. I know what happened. I mean, I was around then. But if we were all judged by the worst thing we've ever done, how many of us would make it to our desired destination? How many of us would get there?
I'm the wrong guy.
I mean, I live in a glass house when it comes to start talking about morality, and I don't pretend otherwise.
Yeah.
So, and my guess would be that most of the people who criticize what's going on right now have had their moral failings along the way too. So, I'm not minimizing what happened. I'm not saying it's okay, but I am saying that. At some point, a lot of time's passed, and you don't really know what's in somebody's heart now.
When Petrino came to Arkansas, Chuck, when he left the Atlanta Falcons in the middle of the night, and they had a press conference shy of midnight here, I mean, Chris Berman, everybody in the country just said Arkansas and Petrino deserves each other. He's a snake, this and that. Well, guess what? Arkansas fans sure loved having him while I was here. I mean, whatever on that stuff that anybody else wants to say. Now, as it relates to you and how you feel, that's fine. That's a different topic.
Absolutely.
6:32. We got to take a break. Back in a second on the Chuck and Bo Show. See, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatgnomecosmetic.com and click on the Sweat Gnome Edge.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
By the way, good morning. We just kind of jumped in, and we're
Hey,
coffee deep. And hey, everybody,
Morning, Bart.
welcome in.
Edward.
I smell the bacon cooking. It's going to be a good day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Looking forward to going to Big Creek, October 14th for Breaking Bart. It'll be the debut. We had to reschedule because of torrential downpours last time, but
no rain this time.
Big Creek Country Club, Bo. No rain.
No rain Tuesday, October 14th.
I hope Caleb and Mountain Home will be there when we come to the Big Creek Country Club.
He's going to be there.
He's on the horn right now. Hey, Caleb.
Yeah. Howdy. Yeah, I plan on being there. It'll be a fun time. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are too.
There'll be a lot to talk about, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, guys, what a time to be a Razorback, right? This is probably the wildest thing I could ever imagine is Bobby Petrino coming back. Now, I'm not saying I'm like against it or for it, or just stepping back and like looking at the whole thing. Like, who would have thought that 12 years ago, like how he left and the way he left, and then all that, and then his journey, like going through coaching, crawled his way back up to the ladder where now he's back in this position. And it's just insane to think about.
It is.
And y'all, I was at the game Saturday. With the firing of Sam Pittman, like, if you were there, you knew it was going to happen. Like, for us coming from Mountain Home, we always talk about the fans and how much it takes for the fans. We were blessed to have tickets given to us, but like, there was on the way over here, we left at 7:30. There was a wreck in Huntsville, so we had to go south to get into Fayetteville. Then we finally got into Fayetteville, and we always park up north by those neighborhoods, and that was like backed up to where we took us 45 minutes to get us into the neighborhood. Then it took us like another 30 minutes to like drive around and find a parking spot. It took us an hour and a half in Fayetteville to finally get parked. And I think by the time we finally got in, it was like the end of the first quarter.
Oh, gosh.
And then after that, everything, and then after that, it all went downhill.
Oh, that's just brutal, man. That is brutal.
Yeah.
And you're not alone. All the effort that it takes to go to a game, a big game like that, and you get in the stadium and you're like, we might as well just get back in the car. It's awful.
And we did.
Well, what do you think now, Caleb? What do you think after hearing Petrino and Yurachek yesterday?
Listen, I have confidence in Petrino to bring the team to a more stable state. At least the offense. I know the offense knows him well. I'm curious to see how the defense reacts to all this. I mean, at the end of the day, I know they know him and all that, but their kind of side of the table has been kicked off, and not to say it wasn't for good reason or to say that it wasn't time for a change, but it will be curious to see, will they transfer out or will they stay? Will they choose to play or not? And so I'm just going to kind of stand by and wait on that front. But I have no qualms with Bobby Petrino's way of coaching, and my dad always told me he was a micromanager, so I have no doubt that he's going to set that forward. But in terms of long-term, or whoever is going to be the next coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks long-term, go with who the boosters want. Go with who's offering the money, and go with whoever we can pay for and really pay the money to get it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is the core of the problem. Go with who the boosters want. Go with who they're willing to give money for.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Chuck, on that one, to me, the key is the boosters being on the same page. You know what will not work is when Chuck is one booster and Bo is another, and we have different candidates that we're fighting for, and we're mad as hell if our guy didn't get it.
Well, there's going to be, look, there are strong opinions and heavy hitters on both sides of the opinion aisle in terms of Bobby Petrino. There are going to be heavy hitters on probably both sides of the aisle when it comes time to, select a permanent coach. The thing that I think we have to realize is, number one, we can't get ahead of ourselves on this. The players are going to decide if Bobby Petrino is the next football coach on a permanent basis at Arkansas. The players are going to decide that, and they're going to decide it over the next 7 games.
Can he win them over?
Well, I don't know.
Can he win them over?
That's the challenge.
While still holding them accountable.
That's the challenge. That is the challenge in an era where players can leave. I mean, look, what are you going to do? Call in and read a guy the riot act today knowing he can leave this afternoon?
I think he will. I think he'll deliver. I think he knows what he's doing there.
I think he does too, but my point is there's a fine line to walk.
Yeah.
There's a fine line for a coach to walk. It's easy for fans to say, well, tell them if they don't want to buy in, then get the hell out of here. Right. I mean, it's easy to say that when it's not you. But the players ultimately are going to decide by their play on the field over the next 7 games. Hunter talked yesterday about this. People always want to put a number. How many games does he have to win? I was glad to hear Hunter say, I'm not necessarily putting a number on this. I've always believed, I said this yesterday, and it was true for me on Saturday. When it's time, you know. You know. I think at the end of this season, we will know. I think it'll be obvious. Should we continue this path or should we get somebody else?
This first meeting is going to be really tough because there's a lot of guys in that room that are going to be disappointed with the change of Coach Pittman and the change on the defensive side of the ball. And so I just want to see dramatic improvement just in the effort of our team on both sides of the ball and how they execute. It's not about necessarily wins and losses at this point. It's not fair to evaluate him on that moving forward. Does that make sense? And I told him, I don't expect him to come in with some magic pixie dust and we're going to go 7-0 the rest of the way with the schedule that we have. But I want to see a team that is much more competitive than we were, especially on Saturday. I want to see that team that, Ole Miss is ranked 4th in the country this week. We're 3 weeks removed from having the ball on the 25-yard line with 2 minutes to go. They most likely were not going to stop us if we don't fumble that ball. Our season could look totally different if we push that ball in at that game. And so we've got a good team in that locker room. We've got to find that good team again and get them back out on the field when we head to Knoxville in 2 weeks.
More of your calls coming up. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show, and should be your bank too because they've got more convenient locations all over the state of Arkansas, helping you bank better. Friendly, local banking is how you bank better. FSBank.com, online, First Security Bank, member FDIC. Chuck has thoughts. I want to have some coffee and let you guys roll for a while. This is going to be good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea, and when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopascal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Pascal Price Check. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
WT Equipment is overstocked on new Bobcat equipment. The lots are packed and ready to move with special fall deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built for any job. Take your pick from compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more, all backed by WT Equipment's trusted service and support. And don't forget, WT Equipment's Fall on the Lot community event is Saturday, October 4th from 12 to 4 p.m. Food, games, prizes, and family fun only at WT Equipment.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, it was one of the great non-marriage times of my life, I tell you that. To meet Chuck Berry, the only thing that's even close to is meeting Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Melvin and Sheridan, you are on at 6:51. Good morning.
Yes, sir. This may ruffle some feathers, and I don't mean to, but history says Bobby Petrino is not the answer to this question. I don't mind him finishing out this season, but we need a young unifier that can get the money and the athletes and get pop some sunshine into this thing. If you have any kind of baggage, it's not going to work. And his history is he always leaves the program worse than he found it. You leave it worse than what he's finding this time, it's really going to be bad. I like him, but I don't think he's the future of Arkansas football because there's just too much negativity around him. And like I say, history says he can't get it done. How do you go from a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback to kicked out on your can in 2 years after that?
Yeah, I mean, the last Louisville run ended poorly. There's no question about that. But the first one was successful. His run here was successful until the moral failing off the field that led to his firing. He, I think, left Missouri State better than he found it there. I think he left Western Kentucky better than he found it there. I mean, look, Bobby Petrino can coach. Now, whether it's the right fit right now, that's up for discussion, for sure. I get that. But let's not say that he hasn't left places better than he found.
This is why I say the players are going to decide this. What happens over the next 7 games is what's going to decide this. I mean, we're debating much larger questions right now. And look, Melvin, you may be right. I mean, the last couple of years at Louisville were bad. But that's why I say I do think at the end of these 7 games, we're going to know. I think it's going to be obvious.
Also, Melvin, like I don't disagree with you, Melvin, but who's this person that you're talking about? And like when we talk about coaching candidates, I mean, it's such a surface level conversation. We pick names out that we know or people that we like on TV. I mean, who is this person? That's part of it, too. If you're Hunter Yurachek, you got Sam Pittman because of your candidate pool last time. Who's in your candidate pool? I mean, legitimately.
But don't you think the boosters ought to have something to say about who is the next coach?
And they will. And they will. They always do. They always do.
They got to get together, though. They can't be like y'all talking about. No, my guy ain't going to be it. If we got it, that's what I'm talking about, a unifier.
Yeah.
And I'm not dumb enough to name names, and I'm not no athletic director. That's a job that Hunter needs.
It's a good point.
But he needs to be on the phone today. He needs to be on the phone today saying who. And if he's any kind of athletic director, he knows he knows who's on top, who's hot. And I just want a thorough search. I don't want to be peeing down my leg telling me it's raining.
There it is.
The next coach.
Thank you. Thank you, Melvin. Let's appreciate the call and the strong reference there at the end.
The strong guttural reference
at the
as
end.
he wrapped up the call.
How about a flight by Yingling?
Yeah.
You want to have a discussion? Let's get it over a flight by Yingling. 95 calories. The next generation of light beer tastes like a Yingling, but it's a light beer. And we're going to be at Walk-Ons tonight for Waiters and Wishes. And I'm sure that will be flowing. The flight by Yingling on draft. Great cause, by the way, tonight at Walk-Ons with the basketball team. I think there's still some tables available. Call Walk-Ons in Fayetteville. Waiters for Wishes tonight for Make-A-Wish.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call. Truck Month is here at Chevrolet of Fayetteville, and the savings are big. Get up to $12,000 off new Silverados, up to $8,000 off Chevy 2500s, and up to $5,000 off Chevy Colorado. That's real money back in your pocket. Plus more inventory, more discounts, and better service than anywhere else in Northwest Arkansas. Stop by today and see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
So I spent yesterday, you don't mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and
I
Bo.
told you yesterday, he's like Mike Judge, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, a Rice graduate like myself.
You went to school with a guy who created Beavis and Butthead?
He was about 2 years older than me, Bo.
King of the Hill, too.
Mike Judge has no connection whatsoever to Rice University.
You guys are horrible.
No.
If the guy wants to go through life thinking he went to college with the creator of Beavis and Butthead, what's the harm?
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously mixed reactions. We got some people that are excited and energized, and we've got some people that are hurt a little bit right now. Their feelings are down, and that's natural. That's how it goes. And I don't want to minimize their feelings and how they are, but at some point we've got to step together and move forward. And the quicker we do that, the better that we're going to be.
Probably goes for all of us. Honestly. But yeah, that's the challenge right there.
Matt is on the Chuck and Bo Show. Matt, good morning.
Mark.
Hey,
My eyes are
Chuck and Bo.
worse.
What's up, Mark?
How are y'all this morning?
Doing great.
Look, my saddest Razorback memory is the day Jeff Long fired Bobby Petrino. We just come off of a almost win in the Sugar Bowl from a scoop and score away from it, and we had Tyler Wilson and Kobe Hamilton coming back. We were ranked third in the country at the end of the year. It's exciting having Bob Petrino back, and I just don't see how you can't hire the guy. I mean, who had so much success in the SEC. I mean, the only two names out there that's had success in the SEC that I think we got a chance at, and it's Gus Malzahn and Bob Petrino, and Bobby actually wants the job. So how do you not take him? I like the guy, and like you said earlier, Chuck, I mean, I'm not going to cast any stones, and neither can anyone else. Had Nick Saban done what Bobby done back then, I don't think Alabama fires Nick Saban. And but anyway, I'll hang up and listen.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Bart is in the Chevy of
Bart's
Fayetteville
beside
Situation Room, calmly.
Here's what I'll say in response
Bart's
to Mark.
awake.
Here's what I'll say in response to Mark. You cannot separate the good from the bad. Yes, Arkansas had success under Bobby Petrino for a couple of years. You cannot separate the state of the program after he left and what it's been like now for all of these years since. You cannot separate those two things in my mind. You cannot act like the saddest day. Your saddest day as a Razorback fan was the day Jeff Long fired Bobby Petrino. Are we serious right now? Like what are like?
Well, that's because of what happened after that. That's because of all the years after.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
People want to win.
People do want to win, but in like you can't like.
I hear you.
You have to take the good with the you have to take the bad with the good. You have to understand what you're doing, and quite frankly, that was a long time ago. This is a completely different time. I'll give you this. Bobby Petrino won 74% of his games as a head coach prior to his dismissal at Arkansas. Since then, he's won 58% of his games. And if you include his schools as an offensive, where he's been as an offensive coordinator at A&M and Arkansas, it's 56% of his games.
Now, fans would take that in a heartbeat right now.
I understand that, but let's not this is a long time removed from that.
You're right.
And let's just be real clear. You can't go home again very often and it be successful. It doesn't often work out. It just doesn't. The history, like the history, the stats bear that out. So just like all I'm saying is just be careful and realize that there is bad that comes with the good.
You know
in
what?
terms of how this ends.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm seeing a great documentary. I mean, this story is unbelievable, man.
It's incredible.
I mean, how in the world does somebody leave Louisville for the Atlanta Falcons and everything that went down with the Auburn job and that whole deal, and then leave the Falcons with games to play in the season to take the Arkansas job in what was basically described as the middle of the night, and then have the way things ended here after this great run, and then everything that's happened since, going back to Louisville and then returning to Arkansas. And this is just, you can't make this up.
He can move that football.
That's right.
He can move that
You've
football.
got to be supremely talented to get those kinds of opportunities. And there's a little bit for Arkansas fans. I won't even say for Hunter. I'd say for Arkansas fans, because I firmly believe the reason that Petrino came back here is because there was very little hope. The hope meter was really low before they hired him. That entire offseason was going to feel like, what do we have to be excited about as a Razorback fan? And they brought him in because they knew it would be hopeful for fans.
No question.
And there is this thing with fans where it's like you're going to catch lightning in a bottle for a second time.
Well, you could hear it, and not just in the tone of Mark's voice, but you could hear it again in the tone of Mark's voice, but I've heard it before. Sometimes with public figures, especially in sports, whatever their defining moment is for us, we put them in that time capsule and they never leave. You know, Mark's tone of voice, you could hear it. Bobby Petrino forever will be the guy on the sidelines leading Arkansas to football glory. You know, he'll forever be coaching on the sidelines in the Sugar Bowl or the Cotton Bowl. He's frozen in that moment. And that's what we do. We do it all across the public spectrum. A lot of times passed since then. Bobby Petrino's a different guy. Players are different. Parents are different. Expectations are different. Everything's different than it was 15
remember the
years
good
ago.
times.
You remember the good times. That's exactly right. Bart's points are valid, and Bart's not the only one saying it. That's why I believe, first off, he's not been hired as the permanent coach. We are debating already whether or not he should be the permanent coach. He's got 7 games as the interim coach. We're going to know at the end of these 7 games whether he's the answer. I firmly believe that. We always do. At the end of the game, so to speak, it's generally clear who the winner and the loser is, and it will be here too.
Gentle Ben.
Yes, sir, guys. I want to talk about, first of all, the rest of this season. And everybody's got their own opinion. Some of it's going to be right. Some of it's going to be wrong, and I don't mind eating crow in the future. But what I'm saying is that I believe that our defense, player for player, is not an SEC defense as far as talent goes. And so, to me, you can't coach talent. Either it's there or it's not. And when we recruited or whatever, we didn't put enough money out there or whatever to get the best ones or almost the best or whatever. And I just think that, if we win the games we win in the next 7 games, is going to have to be done by offense. And that's what Bobby did when he was here before, because the 4 years he was here, if y'all remember, we didn't have a defense, but we beat everybody by offense, and it's just the same thing now for the rest of the season. So,
well, they're going to have to score a lot of points. I mean, that's for sure. Here's the thing about the defense, and here's kind of how I look at it, and I would view it this way, whether it's Bobby Petrino or Sam Pittman or whoever. If you could just get one more stop a game, I'm not saying that would have made the difference against Notre Dame. It wouldn't have. But it would have made the difference against Ole Miss, and it would have made the difference against Memphis. And you might not have been in that position, against Notre Dame. You might not have been in a spot to let go of the rope. If I'm Bobby Petrino, I'm thinking we're going to score as many points as we can score, obviously. But you're not going to turn this into a shutdown defense. they're going to give up points, and you're going to look out there sometimes the rest of this year, and you're going to shake your head and wonder, what was that guy thinking? That's going to happen. But get another stop per game. Force one more punt. That can be the difference.
I did rather enjoy hearing Petrino talk about the defense yesterday at his news conference.
The first thing we have to do is get back to the principles of good defense, which is get into a great stance, get into a great alignment, run full speed to the football, shed blocks, and tackle well. To stop people on offense, you have to stop the run first, and we haven't been able to stop the run first. Some of it's been our fits by our linebackers. Some of it's been errors. So we're looking right now at really finding out what our base defense is going to be from here on, and then build the package out of that. Simplify a little bit. If we simplify and play faster and full speed, then we'll have a better opportunity to stop people.
You got done saying
I'm
that.
just having flashbacks.
They're going to be great. They're going to be great. Oh, I mean, just like that. Can we hear the first part one more time? Do you mind?
No, go ahead. I've heard all this stuff many times.
The cadence is
I know.
It's just
it's
like
the cadence.
It's just like going back.
It's the cadence and the voice inflection.
Yes,
that's what it's all about.
The first thing we have to do is get back to the principles of good defense, which is get into a great stance, get into a great alignment, run full speed to the football.
I mean, that is vintage Petrino right there.
Classic. 7:13. Good morning.
Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hardtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hardtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
That's special.
JD's in Fayetteville. JD, good morning.
Bo, are you an idiot or what?
Oh, absolutely.
I tell you, I just wanted to give you a soundbite, to be honest. I don't think you're an idiot. I love your show.
That's a good one.
That's a good drop.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Mission accomplished right there.
You just need to leave that without any explanation.
I think it's better with it.
Well, appreciate it.
But it's not required.
Not required. I mean, you're
all right. I'll go in and change everything.
Yeah, don't worry about
maybe I'll just delete it.
Don't worry about
forever.
watching my back or anything. You don't worry about that. I mean, you're good. Tracy's in Crossit. Tracy, good morning.
Hey, now.
Hey, Tracy, what's up?
Good.
How are you, man?
All right. Hey, I thought I was crazy after I didn't take my medicine in the morning. This stuff with Arkansas is crazy, man. I didn't know what was going to happen, but at halftime when they scored them last 2 touchdowns before the last minute of the game, I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Everything should have slipped now," and it did. My first question is, who's going to coach the defense?
Chris Wilson is going to coordinate the defense. He's been on the staff. You're old enough to remember, Tracy, when Petrino was here before. Mississippi State, you remember their defensive line? I mean, Arkansas used to have some wars with Mississippi
Fletcher
State
Cox.
back then. Yeah, and but he was their defensive line coach then. He's been in the NFL, had a Super Bowl ring with the Eagles. He was with them. So he's been on the support staff here. College support staffs are different than they used to be. And you don't get guys like that very often. But he's been around, and now he's the DC.
Well, who was the coach at back that time with Mississippi State? Who was the coach back then? Because I remember this guy coaching somewhere. He would blitz almost every play on defense.
Well, Joe Lee Dunn was back, way back in the day. But now that was further back.
Yeah, and my thing is, I saw a picture Keith Kidd took with Lou Holtz. I heard Lou Holtz's name about the game. None.
Yeah.
I mean, for him to be there, but all this stuff, I remember going up to a practice up there when Keith and Bill Pierce and the Arkansas game was up there, and Holtz never would be still. You'll see him on one side of the field and the other side of the field, but I hadn't heard anything about him talked about this weekend.
Well, I think the events of what unfolded kind of
the
overshadowed
game itself
all
kind
that,
of overshadowed that.
They honored him before the game.
We had him on. Did you hear him on here
He
last
was on
week,
our
Tracy?
show before that.
No, I didn't. Hear
He's
that.
88.
I didn't hear back. We were going on. Yeah, we were going on a cruise, and I didn't hear anything.
Oh, wow. How was that?
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
A little bit too much fun?
What they say about what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas is kind of like that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it there.
Okay.
A lot to the imagination.
Sounds like Tracy took full advantage.
Thank you, Tracy, for the call. And Chuck's mind's going to be wondering the rest of the day.
Hey, did you hear what Holt said? They asked him who he's going to be rooting for. And he said, well, one place fired me and one place built a statue of me.
Yeah.
Who would you be rooting for?
Exactly.
Even though he was wearing Arkansas clothes.
He was wearing Arkansas gear. Lane's in Cave City, 7:22 here on Tuesday. Lane, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all this morning?
Doing great.
We're well.
Okay, so I agree with Bart, and I'll be honest with you, Bart, I don't always agree with you. But that's a good thing about a free country. I guess we don't always have to agree. But I do agree with you on the Bobby Petrino deal. But, Mr. Chuck, I want to ask you one question just to make sure I ain't just taking one little sentence out of context. But when Bart was reading off what Bobby's win percentage is, that 56%, and you said we would take that right now.
I was making a joke.
Well, that's what.
I was making a joke. Come on.
It just got me thinking. I was like, I figured you was joking, but there is some people that would. But it gets me thinking, like, well, we had that with Sam Pittman. I mean, I know I'm glad you told me you was joking, but there probably is some honest people out there that would take that, and that's what we have. You know.
What do you
Just
want?
As long as
what do you want?
What
do you want? What are you asking for?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess that we are. What should be our expectations? 75% win percentage.
No,
with
well,
this next
I mean, just so we're clear,
percentage.
I mean, we're not sniffing 58% in conference play. I mean, we're not even sniffing that.
Like since being in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, to me, when you're talking about coaching candidates, it's not about necessarily a winning percentage, because then you're back to, well, who are they playing? Where'd they come from? What was the situation there? I think, Hunter laid out criteria. Thanks for the call, Lane. I do appreciate your thoughts. Hunter laid out what he wants, to base the search on and what the characteristics of the next head coach should be. Let's listen to that.
Have to have someone first and foremost that's a proven winner and proven that they can build a program. Someone that can come in and establish what your culture is going to be as a football program on both sides of the ball. You want somebody that can kind of has some energy and can re-energize this program and re-energize our fan base, ties to what it means to compete within the Southeastern Conference, I think is really key. But I think, probably the keyest thing is they've got to be able to embrace and adapt to what is a changing environment in college athletics, and to be able to have some advanced scouting that's really in depth, and you can go head first into the transfer portal. And that's the way you're going to build a program quickly. And the days of bringing in 25 or 30 freshmen and thinking that you can turn a program with freshmen, they're going to go by the wayside, especially in football. And you've got to be able to really use that transfer portal, and that takes some in-depth advanced scouting across Division II, FCS, G6, and even Power 4, so that when that transfer portal opens up, you're ready to hit the ground running, and we're going to provide that staff with the resources they need to do so.
He also made it really clear that having Arkansas ties is not something that's part of his criteria. He said that would be icing on the cake. Bart, in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
Yeah, well, he mentioned like experience in the SEC, right? And I brought up yesterday about how only coaches who have past experience in the SEC have had success at the non-SEC champion schools, right? Well, guys, like since 1992, there have only been 5 coaches at Arkansas, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. 5 coaches that have had a winning record in conference play at that school.
Since 1992.
Since 1992. Can you name them?
Okay, so let's just make sure we understand what you're saying. 5 programs?
No, five
five
coaches
but I'm saying
at the 6 programs.
6 programs.
Yeah.
So the 6 programs of the, what are we going to call it? Original
Petrino,
12.
Yeah,
in
the
this league.
12.
And so 6 have won, and they're the same: LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee.
Yep.
Those are the teams that have won SEC championships. So all of the other programs since 1992, 6 programs. How many seasons is that?
Yeah, a lot of seasons. A lot of seasons, a lot of coaches.
33
only
times 6.
5.
And of the 33 times 6, whatever that number is.
Almost 200.
Of those seasons, 5 coaches have winning records in the SEC.
Yeah, in their tenure at that school. Yeah.
Petrino's one.
Yes, he is.
Kiffin.
Is Houston Nutt another one?
Kiffin, Houston Nutt. Yes.
Mark Stoops. Has he had a winning season at Kentucky?
No, winning record in conference play is what
for a season.
No. For his time at the school.
Okay.
His time at the school.
I got you.
Wow. Kentucky. How, Mummy?
No. I'll tell you this. Kentucky does not have one of them.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll stop worrying about that.
Okay. Well, we had 2 at Arkansas.
Yeah, 2 at Arkansas, 2 at Ole Miss. You're missing one at Ole Miss.
Kiffin.
Houston.
David.
Cutcliffe?
Cutcliffe, yeah.
Wow.
And so there's one more.
Wow.
There's one more, and he is a Hall of Famer.
Is it? Well, it's not Leach. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Jackie Sherrill. He was gone by then.
Is it at Vanderbilt?
No, it is not at Vanderbilt.
Franklin didn't have a winning record in the SEC at Vanderbilt?
No.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. I mean, I'll give you another hint. He'll give it away. But the man loves him some Arby's.
Oh, Steve Spurrier,
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it, though. That's it. And you know what each of those coaches had in common? They had experience in this league in some capacity before they became a head coach at that institution, whether it was as a head coach like it was for Spurrier, or whether it was or Kiffin, or whether it was an assistant like Cutcliffe or Kiffin or Nutt or Bobby Petrino.
Golly.
If you don't have
200
SEC
seasons.
experience, you got no chance.
That's mind-boggling. I mean, you think about that of those 6 schools, in 33 years, you've had five coaches, who have ended their tenure above 500 in conference play.
Honestly, there
and
haven't been that many.
All of them got fired.
There haven't been that many who were close. Like outside of that, right? Like outside of those 5 guys, there aren't that many who were close to 500.
So you used it as a point of like you got to have SEC ties. I'm going to use it as a point. Like, what again are your expectations?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're talking about needles and haystacks, man. I mean, those are like true unicorns.
Yeah.
Nelson's and Harrison. Nelson, what say you?
Guys, I'll just tell you, Saturday was a disappointment. I didn't expect that at all. Not at all what I expected to see on the football field. And I knew that if Hunter Yurachek, had to make a decision, and if he didn't, he would have been totally grilled, like he always is. And people are just waiting for that gotcha moment with Hunter Yurachek. He told us what we needed to hear at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, and now it's coming to fruition here. Sam Pittman did not have the backing, therefore we did not have the money to compete for a national championship. Now, we are in this state. Hunter Yurachek, again, is telling people. He's telling people right now. I went to Bobby Petrino and asked him if he would be the interim head coach. Bobby Petrino could have looked at this and said, man, I got 7 games, all against ranked opponents or good SEC opponent. And, I mean, what's the end game with that? Bobby Petrino could have said, man, I'm not going into that because this is behind the 8 ball as you can get. So this is what I want to say about it. Hunter Yurachek he's honest and he says too much, but the thing of it is he's going to give Bobby Petrino a chance to redeem himself from the 15 years ago, and Bobby Petrino wants that chance to redeem himself. And that's the way life goes. If you do things in the right order, you can redeem yourself at some point within every situation. If you do things in the right order. If Bobby Petrino would have been up in arms, I hate Arkansas, they did me wrong, he wouldn't have got to this point with Louisville or Arkansas. And Hunter Yurachek is not going to automatically put him in place. It'll be based on what Bobby does this year, the rest of the year. But Bobby Petrino sat down yesterday, and he started with the right foot forward. And I'll tell you what, Pittman and Williams, I hope they have the best lives ever. But what needed to be done was done. Now let's start fresh. Let's get this thing moving in the right direction. And if you're a Hawk, go Hawk. If you're not, go homie Hawk. Thanks, guys.
There you
go, Nelson.
He used the term "start fresh" right there. It occurred to me yesterday that when you think about the Bobby Petrino era, the only ones really, for the most part, who were here for all of it are the fans. Now, there's a handful of us that were around back then and are still around today, but for the most part, everyone in that building, the administration building, is different. And in that sense, he has a fresh start with all those people. And I think that matters.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes, as you've pointed out today. It'll play itself out. We got to hit a break, 7:33. If you want to get in here, jump in, 877-377-6963. This is like, I mean,
Still
you talk
can't
about
believe
what
it's
the
happening.
outside
Oh,
world
I
thinks.
know,
Like, I'm getting texts from all over the country.
I've
How's
gotten
it
them
going
too.
in Arkansas?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is, we just got to show up on time for the show because there's a lot to talk about. People with opinions, lots to say. Hey, go into Blakeman's and get yourself a latte at the Cafe B Onyx Coffee Lab in there, or a Prosecco or whatever, and strike up a Razorback conversation while you're looking at that 8,500 square feet of incredible showroom. But it's not just about the jewelry at Blakeman's. They've got it all. It's where Arkansas gets engaged. They've got their own diamond tier. They got everything you can imagine. And it's at the highest level of customer service that you would expect from Blakeman's. But really, it's about marking your journey, your occasions, and telling your story. It's more than jewelry. It is about your story. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
that's
we don't
all I
want
wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
WT Equipment is overstocked on new Bobcat equipment. The lots are packed and ready to move with special fall deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built for any job. Take your pick from compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more, all backed by WT Equipment's trusted service and support. And don't forget, WT Equipment's Fall on the Lot community event is Saturday, October 4th from 12 to 4 p.m. Food, games, prizes, and family fun only at WT Equipment.
Truck Month is here at Chevrolet of Fayetteville, and the savings are big. Get up to $12,000 off new Silverados, up to $8,000 off Chevy 2500s, and up to $5,000 off Chevy Colorado. That's real money back in your pocket. Plus more inventory, more discounts, and better service than anywhere else in Northwest Arkansas. Stop by today and see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
the Sphere, it's hard to describe. I know many people have gone.
Parade.
I mean, the seats vibrate.
I've been places where the seat vibrates.
Yeah, well, that's not
a concert.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh, man, this is wild. Oh, by the way, Brett Favre, let's go back to the Chevy of Fayetteville situation. Which, by the way, at Chevy of Fayetteville, they've got over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. The Traverses, the Trax, the Suburbans, the Tahoes, and the Silverados. Chuck Barrett's got one, and he's just
proud of it.
I mean, there's just not a bad day for Chuck anymore.
You're right.
He just
You're right.
windows down, windows up, music loud.
It's always spring.
Music off.
Beautiful spring day every day.
Hey, fall's kind of here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling fall in the mornings.
Oh, I know.
Stop by and see our friends Chris, Mark, and Denver. They're just such great people to work with inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevy of Fayetteville. It's about the relationship and the customer service you're going to get there every time. Together, let's drive. What is with Brett Favre and John Gruden?
Well, Brett Favre took to the old Twitter machine and said
Brett Favre and phones and devices.
I'll get to that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This is quoting Brett Favre. I've always said John Gruden is one of the sharpest minds in football. His energy, passion, and love for the game are a perfect fit for the SEC. Wouldn't be surprised to see him land somewhere like Arkansas. I could see Gruden being a spark for that program. And here's what I'll say to that. Here are the things you should take advice from Brett Favre on. Throwing a football, Wrangler jeans, perhaps getting a copper fit. Things you should not take advice from Brett Favre on.
Perhaps.
Arkansas's coaching search, texting, and the use of federal funds.
Yeah.
There you go. That's very well said, Bart. Thank you for that. That was all of it right
That's
there.
good, Bart.
Brett Favre. That's how we feel. And so that is a situation, and we handled it.
What was it you said? Nobody knows Arkansas like Brett Favre?
When I saw that
Nobody
yesterday.
knows the Razorbacks like Brett Favre.
Got
Nobody knows
his
Arkansas
finger on the
play
pulse
like Brett Favre.
of our state.
Marshall is in Van Buren. Hey, Marshall, good morning.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Hey, Marshall.
Hey, so I had a question. Discussion may have already happened, but I'm curious, what does the rest of the season got to look like for Bobby Petrino to carry this head coach position into the next year? I mean, a 5-2 against what we have ahead of us. I mean, we got 4 ranked SEC teams. Is going to put him on a 7-5 season. And you go into a bowl game at that point and win yourself a bowl game. I mean, I could see Bobby back next year.
Well, yeah.
But What about a 4-3? What about a 4-3? I mean, do you see him back there?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to a bowl, but we're playing.
Well, if they go 4-3, they'll go to a bowl. They'll be 6-6, and they'll go to a bowl. Yeah, if they go 4-3,
Look,
I don't think
anybody's expecting them to go to a bowl.
No, I don't,
including Hunter Yurachek.
No, I don't. I admire your expectations there, but
I think it's more about wins and losses. But it's going to be.
I think it's about performance.
Yeah,
it's about performance, and that obviously includes wins and losses. But I think it includes other things too. It starts with effort. It starts with playing with fire. It starts with that being visible. You walk before you can run. The idea that a team that lost 56-13 to Notre Dame and barely showed up doing it, the idea that you're going to wave a magic wand and everything's going to be perfect, again, that's being a prisoner of 2008 to 2012. That's being a prisoner of those moments. Because to think that that's going to happen just right away here, it's not. This is still going to be the same defense. And yelling at them and making them work hard in practice for a week and a half is not going to change that. It should help with the effort, and I think that's where you start. And I think that's what fans want to see. I think fans want to feel like the team put forth an honest effort, and I think they'll get that.
These are never good situations.
But putting a number on it, I don't see that. If you go 2-5, for example, but it's obvious it's a better 2-5 than what the 2-3 was. But I also think too that if you allow the next 7 games to define or to determine what your program's going to look like, I think there's a bigger picture there. Now, look, Bobby Petrino may check all the boxes for everybody. You know, and certainly if he goes 5-2, as he suggested, he'll check all the boxes, I promise. But you're picking someone that's going to run your program for the next 5-6 years. That's about the shelf life. And you want to make certain that whoever you pick at the end of those 5 or 6 years, you're better than you were before. Arkansas's job was not a desirable job when Sam Pittman was hired. I believe it's more of a desirable job today than it was then. Do I believe coaches are going to fall all over themselves to come to Arkansas? No, I don't. I do not believe that. But I do believe there will be more people that want it this time than wanted it before, and I credit him for that.
Agreed. Kenny is in Lowell. Kenny, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Doing
Hey,
great.
Kenny.
Good to hear. I got a question, more so my curiosity. Mr. Yurchek said yesterday that Coach Pittman did not have the resources that he needed to be successful. What's got to change or what's going to change for this next coach to have the resources?
Yeah, he talked about
the
that.
resources. It don't matter who we
That's
hire.
right. No, we've talked about that quite a bit, in the previous weeks. But Hunter has addressed that. He's addressed it with the Board of Trustees. We'll get into some of that. We got to take a break, but that's been addressed, and he believes they're going to have the resources necessary to be able to compete. It came out of a Board of Trustees meeting. He reiterated it yesterday. I thought those were some important comments, and we'll play them for you when we come back. 7:46, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Yeah, what's your point?
You want my point?
Yes, I asked for it. Make it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Our inaugural raffle jackpots grew to nearly $500,000 last spring. Now you can be our next big winner, even if you're not in the stadium. Get your raffle ticket purchased to have a chance to win big right now at RazorbackRaffle.com.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want real action, and the wait is over. Live racing is back. Every weekend brings big moments, big crowds, and your chance to feel the thrill of a big win. The holiday racing season begins Friday, December 12th, and runs through January 4th. Then, the excitement returns with the classic racing season, January 30th through May 2nd. It's racing, it's winning, it's everything you've been waiting for. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
When is the last time you thought,
Oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We're running out of time for the fall foliage.
The fall what?
Foliage.
Okay. Is it foliage or foliage?
It's foliage.
Foliage.
It's 3 syllables.
Foliage.
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 It's foliage.
Foliage. Yeah.
Foliage.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
A bunch of idiots.
We
man.
really are idiots.
Fall's
Lord.
coming.
That's
and-
the archive right there.
Looking for the foliage. Looking for the foliage. It's going to be beautiful. The foliage of the. Oh my
I'm waiting.
gosh.
I figured you'd see some by now
Golly,
at this
man.
point.
Oh, well.
It's October
it's-
this week.
It's coming, Edward. It is coming. We had a question earlier. How's the program going to be ready for the next coach? If Sam Pittman didn't have the resources, what about now?
Absolutely, money will be a factor at some point in time because there's limited resources. But I think we saw with the hiring of Coach Calipari and what we were able to do there with him and his staff and what that's meant to our basketball program. I think we can build a similar model within reason for a football program. I think there'll be people across this state that will step up for us. I think there's an opportunity for the university to potentially help us, and we're continuing to look at new ways to generate revenue within our athletic program. Our football program is far too important to the overall health of our athletic program for us to take it for granted.
Him talking about potential university help is something that, to my knowledge, has never happened before. And this has been a self-sustaining athletic department, and it's one of the few in the country. No student fees, and no talent fee like Tennessee has on their tickets. So we'll see what happens there. But I think the conversation that needs to be happening is happening, which is how do you go from not having the resources to having the resources? And having that conversation with the board of trustees and the right donors and all that stuff. You know, the biggest complaint that we heard over the last couple of years, have heard from people who can afford to give a lot, is I don't know where my money's going. I don't really know what it's going for. And I'm not particularly in love with the direction of the program right now. Well, this is a reset for all of that. And now whether it's Petrino or whether it's someone else, now you have an opportunity over the next 9 weeks to really get all that stuff laid out and go make your pitch to whoever the candidates are that you want to attract to this job and see who's interested, and then you choose from that. But you're not going to have the pool that you want if you don't have that.
everything that we've talked about in terms of money, everything respectfully that Hunter talked about yesterday in terms of money has been wishful thinking thus far. There's got to be a real plan in place to actually pull those dollars out. And let me say this, I've been around here a long time, and I know we've taken a lot of pride in being a self-sustaining athletic program. We may be self-sustaining in terms of money. We are not self-sustaining in terms of winning at football. We are not. And you don't do less with more or do more with less in college football. You do more with more. And I think fees and things like that, I think they're coming. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
It's almost 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday, September 30th, and this is the Chuck and Bo Show. What a time to be alive. I mean, genuinely. When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Chris in Fayetteville, you're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I just have, I imagine in your house. I've never been in your home, not because I don't want to. I've just never been invited. I imagine.
I've never been to your house either.
I don't know. You've been to anybody's house.
No, that's what I'm saying. I've not been invited either.
Do you go to anybody's house?
No.
Like anybody?
No one invites me.
Chuck's key to life is you don't come to my house and I won't go to yours. We'll just live out here in the wild together.
You're reading me like a children's
But I
story.
have.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Bobby Petrino had his news conference with Hunter Yurachek yesterday. We've been playing a little bit of it here and there throughout the show today. It's been a busy day of opinions, and then that makes sense. And we'll take more of them. 877-377-6963. We're going to play a clip from Petrino here momentarily, but I want to remind you can catch the Chuck and Bo Show on demand wherever you get podcasts at Chuck and Bo Show, Spotify, Apple, YouTube on demand there as well. And we stream the show on YouTube every day. So if you don't catch us on the radio or the Hit That Line Now app, you can do it at the Chuck and Bo Show. It's the easiest way to stay up with us. And you never know when we're just going to break in and do like a live show.
You never know.
At any time. We could do an emergency Chuck and Bo minute, hour, whatever it might be. Bobby Petrino yesterday on this team coming together and it needing to happen.
I think in football, you have to always talk about courage and being courageous. And I think that's part of what we have to do now as a team is understand that we all have to take the arrow in the forehead. We didn't win Saturday. We didn't perform like we needed to offensively. We didn't do it defensively and come up with any big plays on special teams. So it's all of us. We just got to get together and become one. That's, I think, one of the issues we've had is the separation in offense and defense. We need to be able to come together as one unit.
That's an interesting comment.
It is an interesting
about
comment.
being maybe not all together.
Well, that always happens when one side's decidedly better than the other. I mean, players and coaches say all the right things, but there's when one side is holding up their end and the other's not, then you have that problem. Now, here was the issue Saturday, though, and he touched on it there. Everybody dropped the ball, so to speak. And sometimes when there is a little bit of division's not the right word because this always happens. You've always got this to an extent, but. Yeah, what he's talking about there, and some of that just comes from helping one another on the field. Offense got to help the defense, vice versa. Big special teams play would be nice every once in a while. All those things lift everybody's spirits.
Petrino also talking about Arkansas and getting another crack at this.
Special place. I mean, that's why I'm so fortunate that I was able to come back here, and I think that we've got to get it back to that special place where everybody in the state is behind the Hogs and everybody is proud of the Hogs. And that's our job. We got to go out on the field and give the energy and the competitive spirit and show the heart that we have in playing the game of football so everybody can be proud of us. And that's what we've got to try to do here the next 9 weeks is make sure that we can unify the state.
8:05, and we go to Clarksville, home of Chuck Barrett, where Alex is holding. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey, this coaching search thing's going to be a grind, isn't it? It's going to be like
well, of course it is, Alex. What are you talking about? We live for this.
Yeah, well, some of them do. It's going to be like the grind of everybody wanting Pittman fired. Now we're going to do this with the search.
Well, of course we are.
Is the coaching search going to not boil down? I mean, there's Petrino camp, which I'm in, but if he does good, wins games, he's going to be the coach. If he don't, he's not. Is it not that simple?
Pretty simple.
Not quite that simple.
I don't know if it has to do with actual wins and losses and record, the way some might think. Everybody's going to ask, and we've been asked a lot already, how many games does he have to win to get the job permanently? Hunter said yesterday that number, is not necessarily the deciding factor. Performance, though, overall performance will have, that'll be.
I will say
that'll be everything.
If they win 4 games, is there any question
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah,
look, if they go to a bowl game, it's going to be just like the old days. I mean, don't kid yourself.
Do you want me to pick the wins for you right now?
Yeah, go
Bart,
ahead.
you want to pick wins with me or losses? Real quick, Alex, while you're here, Alex, you do it, okay? You tell me. I'm going to go through the 7 games. You ready? You tell me win or loss, okay? You ready?
I'm ready.
At Tennessee.
Win.
Wow.
He's buying in early.
A&M in Fayetteville.
Win.
Wow.
Oh, the state will be going nuts.
Oh, my gosh.
Bobby
Can you
Petrino
imagine
fever.
we come in here on October 20th for that show? Auburn and Fayetteville.
Win.
5-3 now. 5-3. The snowball's rolling, baby.
Mississippi State and Fayetteville.
Well, of course we're going to win.
Bang!
Bye week.
6-3. Beat the hell out of the bye week. All right.
Yeah. LSU and Baton Rouge.
No.
Okay, loss. He finally
6-4.
reality.
6-4.
Okay, at Austin, Texas.
No.
Okay.
6-5.
And then Missouri comes to Fayetteville.
Yes.
He's got okay.
If they're 7-5, and I do think the Missouri game's going to play a big role in all this.
Bart looks like he's on Barstool right now.
They've
doing one of
beaten
those-
A&M and Missouri like 3 times total.
Hold on.
since they joined the league.
We'll get to
I want to talk to Bart. Speaking of Bart.
He's right here. Talk to him now.
Fayetteville Situation Room. You're in it.
Him and his damn locks on that
Yes.
SMU and Baylor game 3 weeks ago. SMU still ain't stopped Baylor and couldn't cover the 3.5.
What's
One,
your overall
you're-
record,
you're
Bart?
picking one?
What's your overall record? Yeah, they're going to talk about the losses. They're not going to
20-10-1 on the year, 10-5 college football.
10-5.
SMU Baylor. SMU Baylor.
Okay,
Well,
that's one.
nobody's perfect, man.
That's
Nobody's
one
perfect.
game.
He's pissed at you.
That's
I know.
one game.
He lost money.
He lost his rent money on that,
One
Bart.
game.
He went
Yeah,
all
I lost
in.
that one.
You got to go in all of them, man. That's the way it works.
You got to
You
pick
can't call.
every Bart's lock. If you will bet every Bart's lock at the end of the year, you'll have more money than you
All
started.
these
with.
gambling advice
right.
guys, they all just boast a winning record.
You can't
They're-
just
they're-
cherry pick.
I'm,
You can't
I'm
cherry pick
not
the locks.
rational. I'm like the fan base. I'm not rational. I'm in it for me.
Alex, don't cherry pick. Don't cherry pick the locks.
I
Bet
like-
them all.
Just
I
bet
like
'em all.
Alex. Alex
I do
is good.
too.
Yeah,
I do
we
too.
can bring more of this, Alex. That's good. Be in it for you, and you fit right in. It's perfect. Thanks for the call.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
That's good. Hey, I had people walking up to me at the game on Saturday telling me they screenshot Bart's locks.
Let me tell you something.
It's
This is
it's a
taking
thing.
on a life of its own. I had two people over the weekend ask me about how Bart's locks were. I said, as usual, 2 and 1. And the trick's picking the
Ho-hum.
one that's not going to be right.
Yeah, ho hum.
know?
Yeah, that's right. But you do have to take all 3 of them. You can't.
You're right. That's right.
You can't
cherry
dilly dally.
You have
You
to
can't
do it
cherry
in
pick.
totality.
That's you can't like
Ride
try
or
to
die.
match his picks with your picks and what do you feel
right.
good about
Yeah.
versus what he feels good about. You just either get in and be 10-5,
That's right.
and you're winning for the year,
You can't cherry pick.
or you try to cherry pick and then you get burned.
That's right.
I mean, listen, I'll just say this: there's no guarantees.
No.
But I guarantee you this: that you're not putting as much time into it as Bart
No,
is.
yeah, I can guarantee
So-
you, you're not.
So at least you know
there's a
there's
pride
homework
factor.
done.
There's a pride factor. Like I want the locks to be well
you want to be
researched.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, at the interest of killing the great momentum that we have, or at the risk of killing the great momentum that we have on the show so far today, here at 8:10 on Tuesday morning, would you mind telling us the actual top 25? Bart's
Sure.
actual top 25?
Yeah.
Quickly.
Absolutely.
In the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Here we go.
Made a change at the top. Oregon, number 1, after winning at Penn State. Ohio State,
Big
number
win.
2. Miami, 3. Ole Miss, 4. Alabama, 5. A&M, 6. Georgia, 7.
SEC bias.
Oklahoma, 8. LSU, 9. Penn State, 10. Texas, 11. 12, Tennessee. 13, Georgia Tech. 14, Windiana. 15, Vanderbilt.
Windiana.
16, Florida State. 17, Notre Dame. 18, Missouri. 19, Texas Tech. 20, Illinois. 21, Iowa State. 22, Memphis. 23, BYU. And then Arizona State and Virginia finishing it out 4-1 Virginia.
I didn't hear Clemson in there.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't hear Clemson.
1-3. Well, you can't really put a 1-3 team in
How
there.
about Ole Miss at 4? I mean, that's
Are
what
they the best
are
team in
the
the SEC?
What? Ole Miss?
Are they? I'm
They're
asking.
they're pretty good, man.
Okay.
They're
Are you
pretty
serious?
good. They're pretty good.
They've beaten LSU. All right.
Can somebody explain to me how Arkansas played them to fumbling the
Everybody
ball?
has their
I'm
day,
telling
man.
you, the most
Everybody has
critical
their
play
day.
of the season, everybody points to that fumble at Memphis. The most critical play of the season was that fumble at Oxford. If they win that ball game, what happened in Memphis
Holy
doesn't
cow.
happen. We're not sitting here talking about who the next coach of the Razorbacks is going to be. That play right
is
there
so crazy.
has been the swing play of the season so far.
So Ole Miss
Lives
has
changed.
Ole Miss has a
You're
bye
right.
week this week, and then they host a putrid Washington State team. They're gonna win that game. They might score 70 points in that game, and then it's the big one. It's Georgia at Athens, and that's when we'll know. And if Ole Miss wins that game, then they're in the driver's seat. For
I
the
think
SEC.
Ole Miss is better than Georgia.
I do too. I think Ole Miss is really good. I think it's them and Alabama for the SEC title.
I'm just
this
sitting
year.
here thinking about this whole, and it's not the guy who fumbled. It's not his fault. Like, things happen, but that play, it's just like, holy smokes, the difference.
Oh,
I mean, think about the difference.
Ole Miss is not ranked number 4 in the actual top 25, and we're not debating whether or not they're the best team in the SEC. Sam Pittman's still the head coach of the Razorbacks. Arkansas is probably 4-1 after a better than certainly what we saw Saturday showing against Notre Dame. And as a result of that fumble, the snowball started, and here we are.
And
I believe that.
And that is the difference, and that is the difference between, that's how fine the line can be.
It is.
That's how fine the line can be. Oh, man. I mean, when you just think about that for a second, when you say out loud Ole Miss is the number 4 team in the country.
Best
and
team in the
You
SEC.
ask the question if they're the best team in the SEC.
With a straight face.
And Bart says yes, potentially. And also, did we all just completely
Alabama.
overreact to Alabama's loss at
Yes.
Florida State?
Yes.
Like the whole country. We
Yes.
all sound like a bunch of – and that just also goes to show you, like, how loud was the noise around that program?
It's Alabama and it's Notre Dame, right? Like two programs that got off to bad starts week 1, and then Notre Dame obviously lost to A&M the following week. But we're talking about two programs with really talented but freshman quarterbacks going on the road to hostile environments in their first starts. I'll tell you what, I'd take either of those quarterbacks. If I was starting from scratch, Ty Simpson,
Boy.
CJ Carr, they look pretty good since.
That's a turnaround. And if you need a turnaround, maybe your roof is in a peaked situation, and you say, hey, I got to get this fixed.
Nothing worse than a peaked roof.
And there's
$5 word right
Nothing
there.
worse. And you start looking around, and you're like, oh, that's peaked. We got some shingles coming off, and we got some damage. And, man, we've had these storms. Teamwork Roofing and Construction can turn it around for you. They will not cut corners. They will deliver you the best job done possible. And they'll do it with quality materials like Malarkey shingles and certified crews that can take on any job. I mean, they are truly experts in their field. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. They're going to come in on time and budget. And if you need a quote, I'd get one from them. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. That website, again, is teamworkbuilt.com. Built on quality, powered by Teamwork. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at mcdonaldeye.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want real action and the wait is over. Live racing is back. Every weekend brings big moments, big crowds, and your chance to feel the thrill of a big win. The holiday racing season begins Friday, December 12th and runs through January 4th. Then the excitement returns with the classic racing season, January 30th through May 2nd. It's racing, it's winning, it's everything you've been waiting for. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And I include myself in this. We like to think we know what we're talking about, but sometimes we do miss the mark. I mean, sometimes we do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, when you were reading that almost top 25 a minute ago, all I was thinking was, but Bart, the people want to know if you have your coaching candidate list ready yet. That's what America wants to know.
It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. We'll have it this week.
You got it.
Here's what I didn't know. And Bart, being a student of his business, was able to explain this, that while you cannot get, like, for example, if you go to the Oaklawn sports betting app right now, you're not going to get odds on who the next Razorback coach is going to be.
You're not.
But once you get on foreign soil, or really if you just get in open waters, you can begin to place wagers on who the next coach of the
international waters.
Yeah, if you get into international waters, you can place a bet on who the next coach is going to be.
That's right. And so
the Chuck and Bo Cruise launching October 10th.
That's right.
So there are
go out far enough where you can bet on who the next coach is.
There are odds, and I'm going to go through all of them because there are some names. There are some pulls on here. 3-1, Rhett Lashley, the favorite.
He's the betting favorite in England right now.
The betting favorite overseas. Ryan Silverfield, Memphis head coach, 4-1. John Sumrall at Tulane, 6-1. G.J. Kinney, 7-1. There are 2 coaches at 8-1. One is Gus Malzahn. The other is Mike Gundy. Bobby Petrino, 9-1. Eric Morris.
Well, that's a value bet right there.
Eric
really
Morris, and I must make this very clear. No relation to Chad. Eric Morris, 14-1.
The long lost Morris brother, Eric.
Jeff Traylor, who I guess related to Chad's coaching tree, 14-1, along with John Gruden. 14-1. Alex Golish.
That's just stealing money.
Alex Golish and Dan Mullen are 16-1. Jeff Munkin, 18-1.
Wow.
Dion.
I'm gonna take a flyer on Jeff Munkin.
Dion, 20-1. There's some value there.
You know what?
Dion, 20-1.
You know what we got to do? Do what we used to do back in the day where you call in and we draw a name out of the hat and you get to ride with that person. And that's your person. And whoever wins the contest is whoever ended up getting the job. That's right. You get to just ride with this name.
Lance Leipold, Kansas coach, 20-1. Barry Odom, 22-1, along with Tyson Helton, who is Western Kentucky's coach.
That's a value bet. Barry Odom, 22-1.
Barry Lunny Jr., 28-1. Bronco Mendenhall, 33-1.
Wow.
Jimbo Fisher, 40
I was
to
gonna
1.
say.
Nobody's mentioned
Jimbo's
Jimbo's
about
name.
Jimbo.
And last on the list,
That's
at
another value bet.
50-1, Brent Key, the Georgia Tech head coach, who is, I will tell you, he will be high on my list.
Well, he's not
when
coming.
I review it.
He's at his alma mater.
You never know. You never know.
So
he might write a letter. Who can say?
So can I tell you? I don't have the list in front of me, but I'm going to recall. These are guys that if I were placing bets, just going for value, I'd have Jimbo. Just because the odds are so long, and I think it's interesting. I'd have Barry Lunny Jr. because I think it's interesting. It could happen. I'm not saying it will. I don't think the timing's right now, but it could. Did I mention Barry Odom? I think Barry Odom,
22-1,
and then obviously starting with Petrino, 9-1. I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys with some really good odds that are, to me, legit candidates.
We know that Hunter Yurachek is an admirer of Deion Sanders. 20-1 is worth a splash.
Chance.
There is no way. Do you want Deion Sanders? Is there any part of you that thinks that's a good idea?
There's a part of me
It'd be
that
great
Does he have more kids?
It'd be fun.
Does he have more kids that play? If he's got more kids that play, cool. If he's got another buddy of a kid like a Travis Hunter, cool.
No, hey.
Well, I don't know about any of that.
Have you seen Chandler Morris play?
He actually played great the other night.
That's what I mean.
And showed
That's what I
incredible
mean.
leadership skills on the sideline, honestly.
Here's the bottom line.
He really did.
Deion doesn't have any SEC experience. So as far as I'm concerned, he's out.
Yeah, we heard that about you. I think he heard that too. He's keeping receipts.
Oh, Deion is?
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll call you out when he gets hired.
You put a C note on Petrino.
Does.
You put a C note on Petrino.
for sure.
You factor in your juice at the end. I mean, that's just about that's
$1,000
basically.
I think where do I got to go to do this? What do I got to fly to New Orleans?
International waters. International waters.
Okay. Well,
Take a cruise.
Get me some international waters.
It's the bye week. You got time.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got an open weekend.
If you've brought international waters home with you and you put your feet in them, okay, does that count?
No, it does not.
Can you take a speedboat out to international waters, place a quick bet,
a cigar,
come
like
right
some
back?
drug run,
Sure,
like
yeah.
a cigar boat, out in the Bahamas.
That's right. Hey, I'm just going to ride along a drug run this weekend. Make a few bets along the way.
We got a plan. We want in on this action. Boy, nobody loves a coaching search like the state of Arkansas.
Man. We live for it.
Oh, it's really incredible. 877-377-6963. Call, text the show. What a week. Hey, by the way, prime time at the Palace. First time in more than a decade, the Razorback basketball programs will host prime time as the official tip-off for the 25-26 season. Free event this Friday night, 8 o'clock inside Bud Walton Arena. Exclusive T-shirt giveaway for the first 5,000 fans and an array of entertainment, including elevated basketball team introductions, a dunk contest, red-white scrimmage, and a one-of-a-kind arena laser show experience, which Bart loves. Claim your free ticket online at ArkansasRazorbacks.com. Can we get another drone show?
I liked that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
That was great.
By the way, I haven't read all the notes yet, Bart. Do you have the Tennessee game time in here?
Yes, I do.
They made that announcement yesterday.
Yep.
They lost in the shuffle.
Good old
3:15
SEC network.
3:15 on Saturday, October 11th on the network. Yeah.
3:15. When's the next night game? Do we know? Tennessee's 3:15.
Have to go to the flex. Have to go to the possible flex.
Yeah, I got to be honest with the way the season's going. I don't know that we're gonna.
Texas is a flex game when we get to November.
A&M's a flex, a possibility of a night game. I doubt it. Auburn's early window, State's afternoon window, LSU's early window. Texas could flex tonight. Missouri will definitely be a night game.
Really?
Yeah, it's the evening window.
Okay.
So.
It'll be chilly.
That's the best Thanksgiving.
Best I can give you is the Missouri game.
Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Hey, if they beat Tennessee, they'll be in some primetime matchups. Caller earlier predicted the upset already. They beat Tennessee, they will.
If Alex is correct in his prediction that Arkansas beats Tennessee and A&M,
we had them getting to 6-3. This state would be upside down.
You want to talk about a parade on Sports Talk Radio? I mean, the statue will be underway. It'll be an early start to the statue. Forget whether or not he's going to be the full-time coach. They'll have a statue up 2 games into the interim.
We'll do the show live from the groundbreaking when they go to work on the statue. Got a shovel, a hard hat.
That'd be really something. Hey, Oaklawn.com for all the details on live racing coming up. You got the holiday season, and then you got the classic season. 2 racing seasons coming to Oaklawn this year. December 12th, we'll be down there for that, is when the holiday season starts. That's running through the 4th of January. And then they'll take the rest of January off and start January 30th with the classic racing season. Oaklawn.com, get all the details there. And don't forget, if you don't have the Oaklawn Sports app, download the app today, and new customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Oaklawn.com to get all the details, or just go into the App Store and download the Oaklawn Sports app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. 8:29. It's Tuesday morning. Good morning.
You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
everybody wants to win. When you, as a fan or a person or whoever, make everything about winning, you're saying that only winning is acceptable. And I guarantee you, you don't win every single day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Breaking news here at 8:35 on Tuesday morning. Bobby Petrino is making moves, Chuck. He's brought in John L. Smith as a special advisor to the head coach.
See, now people are going to believe that.
I knew this is what was going to happen all along. I knew this was going to be a dumpster fire.
Smile!
Willie Robinson coming back too.
Willie Robinson is. I heard that Willie Robinson.
Full tilt boogie.
I heard Willie Robinson spent the night outside of the facility. Was hoping to get a meeting with Petrino on the way into the building.
Yeah, I like Willie Robinson.
Where's Paul Rhodes?
Paul Rhodes is actually he's a journeyman. He's out there. I think he's still coaching somewhere.
I'm sure he is.
I feel like
He's
he
a
was.
lifer.
I feel like the last I heard he was at UCLA.
He's a lifer, man.
He's a defensive analyst at Mississippi State.
Wow. Okay, Mississippi State.
He's hoping for that bowl bonus, baby. He's working for the bowl bonus. That's what those old analysts do.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, ask them. We've had them here. I say, how's it going? I'm just waiting on the bowl bonus.
Yeah.
It's like you want to go to a place that goes to a bowl game.
We haven't had a Dan Enos update in a couple of weeks. Where's he? No, is he?
He's the quarterbacks coach at Wake Forest.
That's right. How many points did they score in week one? What was it, like 6-3? What?
No, they beat Kennesaw State 10-9.
That was a thriller. Kennesaw State's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, they are.
But
really, really good.
10-9 is not exactly a thriller.
Wake Forest 2-2 on the year. Wins over Kennesaw State and Western Carolina. Losses to NC State and Georgia Tech.
Well. Listen,
they're not done losing.
Who else do you want to check in on? Anybody else? By the way, Jackson was at the game.
Yeah, Jackson's
the
here.
intern's
I want to
here.
hear about this.
Jackson, you were in the student section wearing a Chuck and Bo hat and some striped overalls. You made it on television. The only thing missing was the Bart cutout, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
What time did you get to the game, the Notre Dame game, the student section? When I got inside the stadium, it was 10:15, and the student section was packed. I assume it was packed a lot earlier than that.
So I got there at 5 a.m. By 6 a.m. it was completely packed all the way down to, what is that, UREC? All the way down there. It was
The line.
The line was
to get in.
Yes, was all the way down to UREC.
A lot of people camped out.
You
You did not.
I
You
did
had
not
someone camp out in your
We
place.
had 5 guys camp out.
Pledges? Did you guys have some pledges?
We had 2 pledges, but that was on their own being. They did it with members. It was really cool, though. We showed up, and there was already, I think, 40 guys from our fraternity that was there, which is really cool. Now, what sucked is we all left by halftime.
Some of you left before halftime. I was watching.
Yes. The O in Razorbacks left before halftime. He couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He couldn't do it.
You guys were pumped. You were amped.
We were
the
ready.
crowd. I thought the crowd was spectacular.
I thought at 11 o'clock in the morning it was a great crowd. I looked out. I'm not saying every seat was filled, but it was pretty close.
The north end zone, the people that have high dollar seats, there were a few of those that were empty. But which I was also surprised. But I think maybe they tried to sell them and it didn't work for the price they wanted. But I'll tell you, we saw a lot of green sprinkled in to the stripe out, which told you how many people had sold their
like
tickets.
A Christmas tree.
It did. How many people had sold their tickets.
Yeah.
But the student section, and I did a terrible job. I just have to not worry about Twitter because I thought it was interesting that the student section was packed. So I posted it. I was like, wow, 10:15, look at the student section.
Homer.
And then, of course, all the mentions were like, at halftime, show it now. And I'm like, whatever, I'm busy.
I'm busy.
I see it too. And I was at a different point in the stadium, and I couldn't really get a good picture. And I was like, I'm not going back over there to take a photo of it.
So you got a big group of frat guys. You're all there together. You're partying. You're having fun. Game's not going very good. You decide to bolt. Where do you go? I mean, what do you guys do?
Well, a lot of us just went over to our friend's house to watch Old Miss LSU.
I got you.
We wanted to see
You
how,
moved on to other things.
Yeah, we wanted to see how Lane Kiffin would handle.
Did you wear those striped overalls all day?
I did not.
No,
I took
I
those
got
off as soon. I've got a triangle on my back from the sunburn.
I got you.
So-
Okay.
Jackson, how are the students' reaction, or how are they reacting? I know you have your finger on the pulse of the student section. How are they reacting to the events that have transpired since the game?
Well, we were kind of hoping for that. All of my buddies and I were kind of saying that if he was still the coach at Texas A&M, we'd be wearing paper bags to the game.
Wow, Jackson, you don't have to say
So
things like that because it's not. He's not.
We are on the air.
I love Sam as a person.
Let
me make that clear. I love Sam as a person.
I just want to remind you, we are on the air. But so you were rooting for Arkansas to lose.
No. We were not rooting for Arkansas to lose.
Okay.
We were really hoping we would win. I've got a bunch of Notre Dame friends. Like, I've got a bunch of friends that are Notre Dame fans.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping we would win so I could rub it in their face.
Yeah.
Edward, you might want to turn that mic off.
This is great. When's the last time?
I
you
love
ordered a
the
paper bag?
unfilteredness of our
Yes.
youth today. They'll say anything. And I think I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah. You should have Jackson at Bobby Petrino Live Wednesday night. Bring Jackson.
I love that.
Have him
I'll
ask
take
the
it up
first
on it.
question. Coach, I'm so excited. I was rooting for this the whole game. I'd already had this plan where I was going to have to wear a paper bag on my head. What do you think about that, Coach? Oh, my gosh. Well, hey, are people excited now? Or are they?
What are they saying on campus right now? What are they saying on campus? Have you been to class?
Of course.
Okay. What are they saying?
I mean, they're excited. We're just excited to see. Well, first of all, we're going to see who leaves. You never know who's going to leave.
Right.
But we're excited. We're excited for Tennessee.
Okay.
Because we've got. Everyone's got friends from Tennessee that are at Arkansas. My roommate's from Tennessee.
Well, listen, Petrino is on the mission is 9 weeks to prove yourself. Okay? Now, we kind of had that mission with you, but that's in the past.
Yeah.
Like, this is a new
You
9
got
weeks.
9 weeks to prove yourself,
You got 9
Jackson.
weeks to
What's
prove
your first
yourself
move?
as a fan. The next 9 weeks, what are you going to do? You all going to show up every game, just like you did for the Notre Dame game?
Honestly,
just took a step back from the microphone.
If I was Bobby Petrino, my first move would.
No, I'm asking.
No. I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Me?
What's your first move if
What's
you're
my-
Bobby Petrino?
If I'm Bobby Petrino?
Yeah.
Well, I'd lay down the law.
Would you?
Yes.
And how would you go about doing that, Jackson?
I would tell them they're making more money than most of the coaches here. This is a job. This is not. You're not just playing for college money. You're playing for more than most of our assistants are making.
You think that'd do it?
Probably not. Probably not.
But you'd feel better.
Yeah, I'd feel better that I said something.
Yeah. Have you said that to any of the players on
Nope.
campus?
Do you have class with some of the players?
I actually don't.
Do you
I
not?
did last year. I had
Yeah.
I had a lot of players in one of my classes, and I have none with anyone this year. It's kind of disappointing.
I do want to thank you for wearing a Chuck and Bo hat.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah,
that
of
was
course.
big. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. I love Jackson. I really do. I like hearing all this stuff.
I know it's 8:43. It's high in the low 80s today. That's the entire weather forecast that Bart is.
That's all you need to know.
on the notes. It's National Love People Day, Chuck.
I was just looking at the notes.
Yeah, and it's Orange Shirt Day.
And it's T-Pain's birthday.
Tell me more.
I don't know anymore. Other than it's T-Pain's birthday. He's 41. I don't know anything
Martina
more about it.
Hingis is 45.
I remember when she played.
It's 8:43. Good morning. Chuck has a little bit of a bad habit of getting on Facebook and buying things.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yingling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yingling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville. It's stunning to hear every 20 minutes a child is diagnosed with a critical illness. But we can help grant life-changing wishes with Waiters for Wishes and the Razorback men's basketball team. It's Tuesday, September 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Walk-Ons in Fayetteville. This private ticketed event lets you take photos, get autographs, challenge your favorite hog to a pop-a-shot, and bid on silent auction items, all benefiting Make-A-Wish Mid-South. Tables are limited and going fast, so reserve yours today at midsouth.wish.org. So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck and I started the show. He said, we want to deal with smart people, smarter than us. It's going to take a while for them to show up because they've been dumbed down, but they'll show up.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We're going to recap what's been a busy 24 hours, or really beyond that. But starting yesterday morning, things began to happen, and then Petrino and Jurek had a news conference, and our takeaways from that, we'll wrap that up here in a second. But I want to tell you about something that's been important and helpful to me. Used to drink a lot of energy drinks when you're tired and lethargic, and some people are overweight. They just don't have the energy they once did. They diet, they exercise, doesn't seem to really matter or help like they want it to. There can be more things that are slowing you down when your energy's low or you can't lose weight, even if you're making better choices. Could be low T, could be some other things. The Sweatnum Edge is designed to help guys feel better and make decisions based on science and information. So what you can do is you can just search the Sweatnum Edge and then get your free evaluation. It'll take you right to the website, The Sweatnum Edge, and find out what's going on with you. And then you get to decide. They'll give you a game plan. You get to decide what you actually want to do. But it has been absolutely game-changing for me over the last 6-8 months in terms of how I feel, my energy level, and just how that affects your overall life. The Sweatnum Edge. Search the Sweatnum Edge and get your free evaluation today. It's $8.50 on the Chuck and Bo Show. What a deal that we have going on in our state right now.
This is, we knew early in the ballgame Saturday, I think, what was coming. Many have suspected it for a long time. Many have said, I told you so. I knew this was going to happen. Others waited until, midway through the second quarter Saturday to say, yeah, it's time. But, hey, we've been through this a lot. We've been through it a lot over the years, and, we'll see how it goes. The one thing that Petrino said yesterday that I just kind of had to, laugh, and it's true. Change. The way change comes in life. Who would have thought? I would have never in a million years dreamt the day that, Petrino was no longer our coach, that one day he would be. Who could have dreamed that up? But here we are.
Well, we got a number of things to talk about, but, number one thing is that you have to get used to change. Your whole life there's going to be change. So how we handle that, our attitude on how we handle that, our positiveness on how we handle that will determine how quickly we improve. We're going to improve. That'll determine how quickly we improve.
I thought the challenge he kind of issued was the right way to handle this.
I think all the players need to understand, like the coaches, they've got 9 weeks to really brand themselves and show their quality of play on the field. Some guys will be going into the NFL, and these 9 weeks will determine how they do that, where they go in, how they're slotted. Some guys will transfer in the portal, and these 9 weeks will see how they get paid going into the portal. And then some guys will stay here, and their futures will get better and better because of how they handled these 9 weeks.
I thought it was interesting. People look at Petrino like he's auditioning for the job. I thought it was a great approach. Hey, everybody's auditioning. That was his whole thing when he was here as the head coach, is you put what you put on film. And that's your resume. And whatever it is you want to be and wherever it is you want to do it, that's going to be your resume. Also, he's been up in the booth. And somebody said it only took 5 games to get Bobby back out of the booth and on the sideline, and he talked about being back down on the sideline.
Well, I've called a lot of games from on the sideline, and I missed being down there a little bit. I didn't know if it was the right decision to go up or go down, but I felt like going up in the box, I'd be able to focus and concentrate more on ahead, the next series, and looking ahead to what the next calls are. But I am used to being down on the field, and I missed being down there and seeing the players' eyes and seeing the intensity, maybe being able to change some of the intensity. So it'll be fun to be down on the sideline again.
Maybe change some of the intensity.
Maybe change it, perhaps. I liked. I'll just say it. I liked Petrino on the sidelines more as an OC than I did in the booth. But that's just personal deal, and I don't know enough to say he should or shouldn't do it. But yeah, I know this. He can change the mood on the sideline. That's for sure.
Well, I think there's a dynamic that he brings, whether you like it or not. There's a dynamic of him in person. That impacts things. And I think you got to play to your strengths. I never understand sometimes when a head coach who made his whole career and resume on calling plays, not call plays. I get you might get to a point where you brought somebody along and you're still involved and all that. But my point is you got to play to your strengths.
No
and
doubt.
to me, that's
No
one of
doubt.
his strengths is being down there in the middle of it.
No doubt. And he's energized, when you put him in that spot. Hey, let me mention before we go, I want to talk about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, just for a second. They're really involved in our community. A lot of causes out there. I know tonight we're going to go to Waiters and Wishes, and they're going to be represented there. And so when you do business with them, you're doing business with people who live in your community. You see them at events, ball game, church. When it comes time to buy or sell a home, I promise you, they're the partners you want. They're in Northwest Arkansas, Washington, and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson, and you can always log on to WeichertGriffin.com.
Turning houses into homes.
Since 1978.
And they did it for my kid. They can do it for you. First home. Now with a baby, grandbaby.
Ooh.
We're going to try and do it again tomorrow. It's almost 9 o'clock. Have a great Tuesday. I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek